Hey guys, we are back with some more San Jose Sharks franchise mode, and we are in free agency right now. And I think before we sign anyone in free agency, we're gonna have to make a trade because we are around 9 mil at available cap. And when you take a look at how much Thornton wants, he wants 6.4, and Yager wants 4.2. So there's no way we're gonna be able to sign both those guys without making a trade here. And we're going to be trading Paul Martin because I was honestly expecting Paul Martin to retire anyway, but he didn't. So we're going to trade his contract because he's almost at $5 million. And I think the story of this season is that we're going to need to be able to rely on all of our top players. So there's not going to be a whole lot of depth, I don't think, unfortunately, or at least not as much as we would like there to be here in San Jose, at least not for this year. So we're going to be trading Martin over to Chicago for a couple of picks in a second and a fourth round pick from Chicago. Now I'm going to see if I could get a little bit more out of this, like maybe a fifth. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I initially only had a second and a fourth written down, but I guess, hey, the more the better. So, yeah, got that out of the way. I also have another trade in mind if we need to make it, but I'd prefer not to. I've been thinking about trading Yannick Hansen as well if we need the extra cap, but I prefer to hold on to him because we're already kind of weak on forwards anyway right now, even with Thornton and Yager, if they even sign, right? So, yeah. And if we do get Thornton and Yager, then they're going to be the only guys we're going to get because them two combined would probably be around 11 mil. So we are going to offer Thornton here, and he wants 2 years. All right, I'll give it to him. I mean, he might retire this year anyway, so I'll give Thornton 6.8 to come back to San Jose, and I'll give Yager, I mean, sure, 2 years, fair enough. I'll give Yager 4.55 to come back to San Jose. Now, let's see if we get them back, and if we do, then we may have to trade Hansen. I don't know. But we'll see what the situation is after they sign. So let's advance days here. And you know what? I'm actually going to sim from the calendar here because this is just going way too slow for my liking. So we're going to go all the way to the 5th. Yeah, see what I mean? That's much faster. So there you go. Yager accepted. And what about Thornton? There you go. Thornton is back as well. So we could take a little sigh of relief right there. But that... Maybe not for too long because we are not going to have too much depth, as I mentioned, this year, especially on defense. We're going to have to rely on our top four in Burns, Vlasic, Krug, and Braun a lot. We may have to spread them out. We're probably going to have to play Bergman, which I wouldn't mind, right, because he's a depth defenseman at this point, so he's technically NHL ready. So, but we're gonna have to find someone else for the defensive core. So we may have to trade Hansen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're gonna have to do the same thing with the forwards as well. Like we're gonna have to put, let's say, Thornton and Pavelski on the first line, and then put a depth winger like Donskoy with them, and then Couture and Toffoli on the same line, and then maybe Carlson. I mean, you guys get what I'm saying here. And then Yager and Hurdle with maybe Timo Meier. Right, so it's going to be we're basically going to have to create an illusion of that we have more depth than we actually have. So let's see, like if we were to get a defenseman in free agency, who would be available and for what price? That's a thing. If we could get a defenseman for like 1.5 mil, then that's definitely doable. We could keep Hansen, but let's see who's out there. Yeah, I mean, like, look at all these guys who are 79 overall, 1.3 mil. Thomas Hickey, I mean, he's not that bad. Let's take a look at what he did last year. And let's see, he had a pretty good amount of hits and blocks. So, I mean, our defensive core, especially with Martin, because I noticed in Martin's stats, he didn't have a whole lot of hits or really blocks either. So maybe if we get Thomas Hickey, that'd be an improvement. I guess. I don't know. It seems like he's a better simulator than Martin in terms of how good defensively he is. and then maybe Josh Georges. But again, these are all guys who are gonna want like 3 mil plus for playing bottom 6 minutes. Yeah, I'd rather honestly take Hickey than Georges just because the simulation seems to be treating him better. But man, Hickey wants pretty much the amount that we have left in cap. So what about what about Feder Tootin? He had anything good? Nah, he's not that much better than Martin, honestly. Let's see, Kevin Bieksa. Not really feeling it. Boschman, maybe? That's, I mean, he's a bit better than Martin in terms of his hits and his shot blocking, but let's see, what was his actual stats over here? 8 points plus 7. 9 points, and well, that was 2014. Let's see, what did he do that year, though? Not bad. So, if we're going for not trading Hansen, then I could probably go for Boschman. What about Prout? Let's see. Honestly, he's got a lot of hits and blocks from last year. A lot of giveaways, though. He's a turnover machine, it looks like. Yeah, -9. What was Boschman's turnovers looking like? Only 55 giveaways, but only 100 hits. Prout's looks like he's better in terms of how many hits and blocks he gets, but Boschman's better in terms of how many turnovers he's got. And then what about Bieksa again? I didn't take a full look at him. Yeah, no, I think I'd rather have Boschman. Let's see, Borowicki maybe. Defensive defenseman. He's got a good physical category. Let's see. 154 penalty minutes. Yeah, no, not feeling it. Not feeling it. That's trouble with that 150 penalty minutes. Let's see, Mark Stewart. Kind of a turnover machine as well. All right, Jared Cowan. Only 44 penalty minutes. Got a decent amount of hits and blocks. Kind of a, once again, a turnover machine. Only 3 points, +9 though. So we do need someone though to help out with Bergman, who's a righty. So I prefer a lefty. And I don't necessarily want to trade away Hansen if I don't have to. So you know what? I think I want to go with the veteran Francois Boschman. Just because he's probably going to retire soon anyway. And because we're effectively going to be forced into a rebuild after this or next year. One of the two. Because we're going to have a whole lot of veterans retiring. Yager, Thornton, Boschman, if we get him signed here. So, yeah, I think we'll sign him for that. He's cheaper than Hickey as well. And he's a lefty. He can help develop Julius Bergman a little bit, hopefully. So I think that'll be a good signing. And and we get to keep Yannick Hansen. So that's the good part about that. So we have a little more depth at forward than we thought we would. But wait, what happened? I pressed X too fast. I didn't see what happened. All right, hold on. Let's check contracts, because I had no idea what Boschman said there. It looks like we got him because our salary cap is down. Let's see. Boschman. Yep, there he is. Okay, so we got Francois Boschman now for our defensive core, and that looks to be it. So actually, you know what? Why did I back out? Let's go back into the contracts one more time just to see how our depth is going to be. I know we're going to be a little bit weaker than last year in terms of how much we could stack up the top 6 forwards and the top 4 defensemen, because again, we're gonna have to spread them around a little bit to sort of get the same effect that we did last year with them, because we had more depth last year. But Jones is a 90, so that's good. I mean, we don't really have a backup goaltender though. Oh, that's another thing. We're gonna have to really heavily rely on Jones, because we really don't have too much here. And we may have to consider trading, what's his name? Hansen anyway. if we really need a backup goaltender. So let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with LeBanc, and then Goudreau. So I think I'd rather have LeBanc play just because he's 3 years younger and he's got a higher overall, and a higher potential as well. So I think I'd rather him play than Goudreau. So that's 12 right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, including Bergman. So, yeah, I think we're set. I would prefer to have a backup goaltender, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, and you know, I think that'll be it for the offseason now. And let's get to the regular season. All right, so I wasn't gonna waste your guys' time. I already went ahead and did the lines for year number 2, and they look like this: Donskoy, Thornton, Pavelski as the first line. Second line is Kevin LeBanc, Couture, and Toffoli. Third line, Yager, Hurdle, Meyer. And then fourth line is basically guys who I can all trust on the penalty kill. Hansen, Tierney, and Carlson. Even though they're all third line checking forwards, I have them all on the penalty kill, so they should not get too mad. And Yager's on the first line power play, I believe. So speaking of power play, let's check that out after the defense here. So Vlasic and Burns are on a pair together, and then Krug and Bergman, who's actually a 78 now, top 6 defenseman officially, and then Boschman and Braun. And let's check the power play. So Yager, Couture, Toffoli, Burns, and Krug, and then Hurdle, Thornton, Donskoy, Vlasic, and Pavelski. And there's the 4-man power play. Got Pavelski on the point there as well. Penalty kill is Pavelski, Carlson, Vlasic, and Burns. And then Tierney, Hansen, Braun, and Bergman. And then the 3-man is Pavelski, Vlasic, Burns, Tierney, Braun, Bergman. And then extras, 4-on-4, Thornton and Pavelski, Couture and Toffoli, Hurdle and Yager. Got the check connection there. The checking line, I guess I could say. The Vlasic and Burns pair, the Krug and Bergman pair, and the Boschman and Braun pair. And then 3-on-3 is Couture, Pavelski, Burns. I actually didn't edit this. Thornton, Toffoli, and Vlasic, and then Hurdle, Yager, and Krug. That looks good to me. And then extra attackers, Pavelski and Yager, and then the shootout is Pavelski, Couture, Thornton, Toffoli, and Krug. And then goaltenders, Jones and Bibeau. So we're actually going to do a little bit of preseason here, but let me know if we should get a backup goaltender, because clearly not our strong suit right there. And let's just make sure all the captains are good, and then we can start the preseason. And we'll also get scouting underway. So Couture, Thornton, not Burns. Gotta get the alternate on Thornton. There you go. That looks all good. Yep, Yager still has his 68. Yep, Al looks good. So let's actually start the scouting right now. So let's take a look at the draft class and see where the most quality prospects are, and then we'll scout there for the majority of the year, I have a feeling. So apparently a franchise potential sniper in the United States, Kirk Kolyakovo, only 5'9". Wow. So and he's only 17 years old as well. I mean, that might change obviously when the draft comes around, but I have to look out for America. Oh my goodness! Look at the amount of Americans in the top 10. This is look at this. Look at this. Ah, there's so many Americans. Look at this. Everyone in the top 10 apparently, everyone projected to go in the top 10 is American. Look at this. All the way down to Morgan Nelson. Everyone in the first, pretty much everyone in the first round is American. Look at this. Look at this. Where's all the Canadians? Where are all the Canadians? Okay, I haven't seen a single Canadian yet. Where are the Canadians? Canada, what are you doing? Man, what is going on? Where are all the Canadians? This is all leagues, right? Yeah, this is all leagues. Where are all the Canadians at? Like, OHL, what's going on? 7th round. You're telling me there's only one player going in the draft from the OHL this year? Are you kidding me? How about No one from the QMJHL. Are you serious, EA? WHL. One person in the first round, and he's American too. Nolan Foote. Wow. And then a bunch of guys in the 7th round. So you telling me, EA, that there's no Canadians at all in the first, like, 6 rounds? Wow. Wow, look at all these American... All right, you know what? We're scouting America, boys, the entire year. We're scouting America. I don't even care. That is quite ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Let's scout America, like, all year. For 6 weeks. Well, that was easy. That was certainly an easy decision right there. So... let's get the preseason underway. Man, there's like no, I'm still like, how is that possible? There's no Canadians at all in the draft. Okay, then. That's a bit weird. So let's actually hold on. Before we start simulating, we gotta turn automated rotate goalies on and injuries off. Because I believe I forgot to do it. Yep, I did. So it's a good thing I just remembered. Assistant goalie, or assistant rotates goalies. Yeah, there you go. Assistant goalie, Jesus. Been talking too long. All right, so as we get back to the hub here, get into the calendar, let's simulate preseason, see how we do. And honestly, I might just simulate up to like the 25th. Because I want you guys to chime in on if we need a backup goaltender or not. So, simulate up to there, past Calgary, and 3-1 loss immediately. A 8-4 win against the Golden Knights, 8-4 or 8-3 win against the Anaheim Ducks, and then a shutout against Calgary, or we get shut out. So let me know if we need a backup goaltender. I mean, we'll check out the stats. Not that they really matter anyway, but. Still, wow, Couture, 7 points. So, let's see. 7 for Couture, 6 for Burns, Toffoli 5, Yager 4. So it looks like our strategy of spreading out all the scoring is paying off so far. So, again, let me know if we need a backup goaltender. I mean, Martin Jones was in there for the majority of the time. Ooh, rough. Ugh. .88. Not good, Martin Jones. You got to improve that tremendously during the regular season. So let me know if we need a backup goaltender. I think so. But that would probably require a trade unless the game has changed our cap situation all of a sudden like it usually does. Let's see. Oh, okay, it has 2.4. So yeah, we could probably sign a backup goaltender. So I'll show you the free agents list here, and you guys can suggest someone. So, and then we'll end it off there. Goaltenders, let's see. Yeah, so it's just a bunch of minor starters. So we might honestly have to trade for someone. So let me know if you guys can think of any good backup goaltenders in the league who are preferably cheap. And that'll be about it. And I'll see you guys in the next one.